So welcome everybody. So good to have you all here. The message here is so beautiful, so simple. And the message here is that I'm the doer, that I can do things, that there's a separate me here is illusory. That dream of being separate from life, being other, but there's no other, there's just life. So everything is already it, even a feeling of separation is this too. So doing happens, but nobody's doing it. So choices can appear to be made, but nobody's choosing them. And so all of this is the message of peace, because all of this is peace. It's when there seems to be a sense of division that all is not this, that the seeking is looking for the peace, but the peace never went anywhere. It was always here as everything. So because the peace isn't personal, and the me takes itself to be personal. But there is no personal, there's just everything. And nobody owns everything. Nobody's doing everything. No one's doing this moment. And so that's the freedom. That is great freedom. Freedom from wondering what I'm supposed to do next. Well, if there's already no you, there's no you to worry about it. So we can call separation the dream of other, that there is other, that is the illusion. So whatever is happening is it. There's no struggle with what's happening. If pain is arising, That's what's happening. But it's not your pain. Nobody owns it. And that's what the illusory me thinks is, oh God, now this pain's here. I have to deal with it. And the beautiful part is there's nothing to do. You're already it. You're already what you seek. It's here right now. It's what's speaking here. It's what's listening there. Those aren't two things. So nothing can get you closer to this. Nothing can get you further away from this, because there's just this. However it's appearing, even if it feels or looks separate, even if it feels or looks painful, it's still not happening to anyone. So this is an open meeting. Everybody's invited to participate. If you have a comment or question, feel free to unmute and jump in. So that's why all practices don't matter. You can do as many as you want. There's no problem with it. You don't have to do any practices. No problem with not doing any. There's just this. So there's no right way or wrong way. I mean, it's so freeing. You could go mow the lawn. Maybe that calms you down. It doesn't matter. You know, this isn't actually getting anywhere. You know, as an analogy, you can think of the dream at night. No matter how complicated and convoluted and real the nighttime dream is, upon awakening, it's clearly seen nothing ever happened.
And just to take that up, I mean, you can also say that the dream did happen, and everything in the dream did happen in the dream. So however it appeared, did appear, that dream was real. And that's why we, often say it's real and unreal. So the real part is real. The appearance is real. It's a real appearance. As real as anything. But it's also not real. It's like a dream. So it doesn't have any implication for anything. It doesn't relate to anything. Which is the opposite of what me is. Me is the feeling this is all relating to, it's all grounded in me, and it's serious, and it's, only real, not unreal at all, just real.
The point is, though, that in the nighttime dream, you're not doing anything, right? The body's just laying prone on the bed. There's no doing, that's the point. So there's no doing here. No one's doing this. There's already nobody here to do anything. And this is unknowable. This is unknowable because there's nothing that can get outside of this to know what this is. And so, yes, the body is a temporary appearance. Bodies coming, excuse me, bodies come and go every moment, seemingly. But you're not the body. You're not a fleeting appearance. You don't come and go. So the thing that takes itself to be the story is imagined. that I'm Michael, or I'm whatever it is you think you are, good or bad, positive or negative. None of those are actually describing what you are, ever. It's funny, the image in the mirror, it was Douglas Harding who first said, you know, no way, Jose. That thing in the mirror is not me. You know, first of all, I need something outside of me. I need it's only there when I'm standing in front of the mirror. So already I'm getting secondhand information.
It sounds like what you're saying is that what you are is this. And anything else is imagination. Anything that anything that is, aside from this, anything that appears is imagination. And what is can't be known. So anything that can be known is imagination. Or an appearance, as we say, or a story.
Yeah, so here that was experienced as suffering. That story was continuously a source of endless suffering, you know, with occasional bouts of, you know, semi-joy. But even, you know, while being at Disneyland, it still didn't quite scratch the itch.
Isn't it not until the itch or what's imagined is seen as empty or nothingness? You use the word illusory, and that works. So there's nothing that arises, whether it's assigned imagination, appearance, something needing to be itched. And all here, including this speaker, has felt the itch or the suffering, that separate sense, and seen it as real. But the teaching here and elsewhere is that there is nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So even the words talking about nothing or emptiness or itches or imagination are simply teaching pointers, essentially nothing.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just going to say that, you know, we might want to put teaching. I mean, I like everything you said. I think that's right. But we might want to put teaching in quotes, because, you know, if there's nothing, then there's no one, you know, no one to teach, no one to be taught, and nothing to teach. So that can be missed sometimes.
Well, any word is used however it's used.
Yeah. Yeah, and every word is empty, as you said.
is seen dualistically or non-dualistically, or further seen as empty,
Right,
any meaning.
right. Yeah, I agree.
Nothing. Look at nothing isn't necessarily empty. Nothing, the way I see it, it means no thing. So no thing separate. It's not empty. It is everything. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's an unexplainable, alive mystery.
It's not
Yeah, I think as Michael was just saying or indicating, I mean, nothing is everything, and empty is full. It's all the same thing.
Yeah. No escape.
Playing with words.
Well, the idea is that while they may be playing with words, is to see beyond it. It's also illusory, any attempt to playing or someone playing or not playing and arguing about playing. You see, it's here, it's not getting anything to do with words. It's nothing. It's just the wind blowing or a cloud passing. It has nothing, nothing. And getting that, the ultimate ground is alive but empty, is is silence, but again, words. But either you're intuiting freedom can't be described. Emptiness or nothing can't be described, but when we batter them about, we're in the dualistic, the dualistic, the relative, talking about the dream, dissecting the dream, analyzing the dream.
Right. So I would say, like, it doesn't make any difference, right? Whether we say empty or full or nothing or something, but except it does make a difference to the person.
Yes.
The person is looking for something, busy looking for something, and missing the something and trying to get it.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, go ahead.
No, the person, and that appearance, and it's discernible here, someone that's speaking dualistically as a separate sense or story, that's palpable. And then there's speaking that's is not dualistic. It's simply speaking for no one about nothing. The loveliness of Nkosi is there's speaking, but there's absence of self-consciousness. There's no mediator. It's spontaneous.
I don't want to speak for Nkosi, but I'm just thinking that if he was here right now, he might say that that's what you are already.
Well, whether he says it or not, I think it's what we all are, but we get lost in the residual dualism at times, and then that disappears and return to the ground of being, the essence, nothingness. But you still answer to our name, still look both ways before we cross the street.
So there's already nobody doing that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that's why there's nothing to be done. And yet, as I said, doing is fine. Doing can seem to happen, no problem.
Someone said that understanding non-duality is the milk, and that understanding ajata, no creation, or sunyata, is the cream. There's nothing that arises. There's nothing from the start. My daughters don't get this.
I'm sorry?
My daughters don't get this.
No, nobody gets this.
It's true. That's double entendre. Nobody gets it.
So the me is identified with the body, and so the me imagines that it will die because the body will die, but that's not true. The body will die. The body, everything comes and goes except you.
Well, there is a world of people that think they are suffering. It's just a scratch.
Well, Michael, you say that there's a world of people. Is this world of people that you're talking about, is that different than any other story that we might talk about?
Oh, there is no world, and there is a world when you're talking to the world.
Oh, okay.
See, that's something that for me, I want to be compassionate about. When my daughters talk about their world, they really are in it, believe it, and
Yeah.
and I could see them feeling that. I can identify with it, perhaps, and yet not be of that, and see them, and see what is as nothing there, which is a richer, fuller expression, but that's not their time or place to get it, although eventually everyone awakens to it, returns to it. But again, you see, I'm mixing the metaphors of the apparent separate identity. I mean, who is it that's giving change to the or directions to the Uber driver or whatever?
Yeah, so nobody's ever done anything. It's just this doing everything. All actions, everything that seems to appear. It's just this.
Mhm.
There's no doer behind it already. There's no one being compassionate or not compassionate already.
The word that's used here most commonly is this. This, all that's appearing is this appearing in this, for example. But that this seen here and expressed here is simply nothing, emptiness, nothing. And here speaking, this, there is no this. There's not this, there's nothing.
This nothing, I'm really seeing this as a story. This whole thing is a story, but a very interesting one. This nothing that's being referred to here, it seems over here, it seems like when I hear it, like, but there's like no experience over there of this nothing. So whatever is talking is just nothing talking about itself, which we can't know. Right? So the nothing is talking about nothing. We can't know that.
Well, the nothing's not talking because the nothing doesn't do anything. There's nothing there to do anything in nothing. So nothing doesn't do anything.
But I always have to start where that's I hate the word story. That's a point of view, that there's a nothing that doesn't do anything, nothing, or it doesn't need to do anything. That itself, which is the starting point, it seems, of this whole thing, this whole non-duality, it is itself a story because it can't be known. So if it's even said, you have to sort of like dismiss it because it can't be known.
Yeah, it can't be known and it can't be dismissed because there's no one there to dismiss it.
Okay.
So that's why it's talked here about resonance. If there's a resonance, if all is this is peace, if that resonates.
Resonates with who? I mean, see, when you say that to me, does it resonate with me? I would say, yeah, it resonates with me. That's why I'm here. It resonates with me, but then there's no me. So if I think it's resonating with me, I'm caught. I'm trapped. There's no freedom there. Like, oh, I resonate with it. Well, then now I've just established a me. Now there's no freedom. So, so talk more about resonance without a me.
Yeah, it's not, well, there already is not a me already. So there's no me to resonate or not resonate. See, you're
Right.
there's an assumption there that you need a me for there to be something to resonate. There is no me ever. There's never been a me. There's just this. And somehow this can resonate, that all is this. This can resonate with itself.
This could, okay. I got that. Yeah, so I just have to say, because good, it's like, so resonance can resonate with itself, non-dual, just resonance, however
Yeah.
it resonates with itself. Okay.
And this resonating with itself is a story, right?
Oh, no. You can't say that. I just made a belief system out of it. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's a story to talk about something that can't be spoken, can't be known, leaves all of the stories behind in a way, but we're still here left with stories. That's the paradox. And that is just something that's either you can it's a resonance or it's not, but you can't explain it.
See, when it's my story, that's the suffering. That is my story. Stories by themselves are not suffering. They're just stories. And we like all stories, good stories, bad, right? The bad guy, the good guy, the damsel in distress, you know, all stories contain some conflict. So that's perfectly fine. But there's just nobody behind it.
So the question then, I like this. If there's a resonance, you know, this is experiencing this, so to speak. Because I think earlier tonight you used the word peace once or twice. So would you say on any level, is that an experience? Not an experience necessarily for me, but would you call it an experience? Because if there, it's sort of what Dom was saying, if there's a resonance, which I agree, like that's why I meditate. You know, I feel like being quiet, so to speak, positions me, so to speak, to feel a resonance that you could say is this resonating on itself, or what I would call the Tao, if you will. So I guess my question is, would you say on any level, is there an experience? Because resonance is, you could say, is a feeling, it's a vibration, it's something. So I guess what I'm saying is I understand what you're saying about this is happening with this or to this or from, I'm just trying to get to this experience of peace and a resonance.
Okay. I got a question for you, Alan.
Yes.
When you're in love,
Mm-hmm.
can you describe it? Can you break it down and explain it? Or is it just a feeling of, wow, I really like that person?
I mean, you can try, but you can't
Exactly.
get to the
So
feeling.
that's my analogy for resonance is love. It can't be explained, but you know when it's there.
Okay, right. But I'm using, so that's another great metaphor, because I agree with you. But is that not an experience? Because you're noticing something shifted. There's a feeling of love, which is inexplainable. But it's a resonance, no?
Well, there's already no separate one there to have it or claim it.
Right.
There's just the pure whatever is happening. There's just no owner of it. So all the experiences, nothing changes. You know, people wonder, you know, about Nkosi or something. No, it's the same thing. He's just getting up and going about his day, and whatever's happening seemingly is getting done or not getting done. And it's the same everywhere. So no one's doing it. It's just happening. So the love or the resonance is just there. It's doesn't have it. You don't need to explain it or go into why or who it's for. That's all the mind. That's all the me.
Yeah, I hear you, but I still feel like to feel something, to be in love, or to feel love, or to see a beautiful sunset, even if there's not a me there, so to speak, it's an experience.
Well, you need a me to have an experience.
Okay.
Because if there's no one there to have an experience, then who's having the experience?
Right. So when you say that using your analogy, which I love, about being in love, that's a different state. You will use the word resonance than getting a root canal.
Well,
Right.
pick, you know, like Dan said, it doesn't matter the word, but there's just something here. I'm just speaking Here, there was just 100%, every word Nkosi said, nothing was off mark. It was just the inclusivity that all is this that rung a bell here. I can't explain it, Alan. It's just something resonated so powerfully that of course all is this, of course.
No, I appreciate everything you're saying. It's just the ringing of the bell. Who's that happening to, or how's that, or what's happening there? Because it feels like it's an experience.
Right, but that's because if there's a sense of a me there, there'll be a sense that other people have me's in them. If it's seen that there is no me here, it's also seen that there is no me there.
I think Alan is suggesting that the me resonates. However, there's also the bodily experience, the memories, whatever, imagination, all of that's there. And then you get the awareness of emptiness, but it's suffused with freedom or love or happiness. And perhaps the resonance gets a little bit confused because there is the residual sensing, but there's no one sensing, but there are senses. And that is talking about the expression of being, consciousness, bliss, or equanimity, that state of emptiness. And I suspect there's somewhat of a whipsawing. It happens here. Is this the sensations for no one, or the sensations for a Michael speaking? But ultimately, I could say more and more, there's no one here, there is no me, but that apparent me is resonating. And it's a big leap to go from being a me to then seeing there's no me's. But I think there's the resonating body experience, the shadow-like. So we're walking in this garden. And there is no garden, there's no world, it's all emptiness and nothingness, but smelling the roses, freedom, beautiful, everything is okay. All of that is simply the resonance of the residual body till the body falls off, and then there is more complete emptiness, nothingness, the void.
Hi, Nkosi, welcome. He's deep in trance. Nkosi and I have been videoing last few days, and sometimes the connection in South Africa, he told me that they do what's called load sharing. So the electricity gets shut off for several hours a day or something. So sometimes the internet goes out, so or it's weak. So he'll try his best to get back on. But when he gets here, oh, there he is, Nkosi. See if he's back.
Hi, Michael. Hi, everyone.
Welcome. Nkosi, would you mind talking about that you are not the body already, that what you are is birthless and deathless?
I don't mind. Yeah, there's just this, which is already everything. It may appear as anything, but it's as it is. It's not an appearance. It's just here. It's formless and empty. It may appear as a body. It may appear as somebody who's talking, who's going somewhere. It might appear as a thought. that is searching for enlightenment. So it's beautiful the way it is, because it's the only thing there is. There's nothing outside of it to know it already. It is it is already everything. It's already everything. All the appearances that may seem to appear, thoughts, sensations, movement, you know, it's just totality, this, or should I say formlessness appearing as that. So it doesn't really mind what may seem to appear, because it's just it's expressing as that. So the body itself can be seen as just an appearance in this. What you are is already formless, but at times it may appear as something. In a dream of itself, it may appear as an individual who's searching, who's in trouble, who's looking for solutions. But when it recognizes that it has never been an individual, it has never been that, it is seen that it has always been itself, you know. But in a dream, it may happen that it may play the game of forgetfulness and remembering itself, because it's the only thing there is. There's nothing outside of it. If a question arises here, it's already wholeness asking a question. If an answer is being given, is already wholeness giving an answer. So this can be seen as just nothing happening. Yeah. So as I always say, this is really going nowhere. And that's not to say it shouldn't be happening. You know, it's just this. So if it's happening and not happening, it doesn't matter to this, because everything is this. So it's already wholeness. It's already everything. Nothing is excluded here. And there's nobody here who's really talking from that. There's just talking happening. No one can speak on behalf of this, because there's only this. No one can argue. No one can get angry here, because there's no one. There's just totality appearing as that. So there's no separation already. Separation can also be an imagination appearing in this as this. So everything is accepted as it is. Accepting or not accepting is already this. Arguing or not arguing is already this. Asking a question, giving an answer is already this. Raising a hand or not raising a hand is already totality. So there is no separation already. So here there are no expectations that this what seems to be happening should be in a certain way, because it's it's just this. There's nothing else. There's nothing outside of this. So this may take any direction, you know, or what seems to be the me or the imaginary separate self may seem to take any direction, but this doesn't mind, because that is its expression. So this doesn't see the other, it sees itself as nothing. even what seems to be the knower of things is already the unknown. The knower is not separate from from the unknown. It's just the unknown appearing as a knower. So it doesn't matter. Somebody here may claim to know so many things, but there's nobody there. It's just an appearance in this. So nothing matters to this because everything is this. No matter what shape or form it may appear to be, it's already totality appearing as that. Something may say, but I'm not getting it. That's okay too, because all is this. Some may say, oh, I'm getting it now. I think I'm about to get it. Keep on talking, Nkosi. There's just this appearing as that. So there's nobody to reach this. There's nobody to find this. There's nobody to know this because there's only this. And this is not, it's not a person. It's not a human being. It's not a man or a woman. It can never really be pointed to. In the story, there may seem to be a man or a woman, a human being, but really it's not that. It's just everything. It's already what is appearing as that. It's already wholeness appearing as that. There's no real woman or real man. There's no real story. And the story itself as it is, there's nobody behind it. It's empty. It's not personal. It's not happening to somebody. It's just happening. It's going nowhere. So it may be seen that today's story is not always the same as yesterday's story. And what seems to be tomorrow's story, it may keep on changing. It's an appearance, it's nothing. It's not that there's a continuous story that is happening. No, it comes. No, yesterday is not the same as today, and tomorrow is not the same as today. So those are just appearances. Different stories that seem to appear in this, they seem to unfold. In the same way, when there's a dream, in the dream, you don't dream the same dream. Dream appears, and another one, different one, totally different may appear. So it's the same as tomorrow, today is different than tomorrow, and yesterday is different. So those are just appearances. There's no continuous story. Story may seem to be different, and it's beautiful. It's unique because it's already an expression of everything. It's not personal. It may seem personal, but it's not personal. It's just what happens. It's going nowhere, and it's not continuous. So everything is this already. No matter what shape or form it may appear to be, it doesn't matter. Question may arise, doubts may arise, fears may arise, but it's already totality appearing as that. It's not personal. The doer of things is already not there. They may be doing happening, going to the loo, getting a glass of water in the kitchen, but that's just doing happening. There's nobody doing that already. There's nobody who has ever done anything here. There's just totality appearing. Yeah, that's what's coming up.
That's great. That's beautiful. If anybody has a question for Nkosi, now would be the time. Well, I got something. Nkosi, I really enjoyed your 5-minute video with Alice that you uploaded and I transcribed. And you talked about thoughts being a bundle of information, and that's all.
Yeah, I would say thoughts it's just a bundle of information, because when thoughts appear, they may appear as, like, for an example, it's an information, or you were told that you are a human being. That's an information. You are told that there's a sky, there are cars, mountains, buildings, the world, and you are this body. So if thoughts comes up, they come up like that, the body, the mountains, you, so it's just an information. There's nobody there. Even what seems to be an individual or a separate self is just an information, a bundle of information. Yet it's also totality appearing as that. But it is seen like that. It's nothing else. Talk about the sky, cups, mountains, rivers, animals. It's the story. It's an information. It's not important. But when there's a dream, in the dream of this, as a separate self, it may seem to be very important. Yeah, it's
Beautiful. Thank you guys, to each and every one of you. We so love and appreciate all of you. Nkosi, no words. Good
Thank you,
night,
Michael.
everybody.
Thank you, Nkosi.
Good night, everyone.